following is a demonstration on how to repair the handles of an early model Remington Portable or Remington Portable 2 typewriter case. Before attempting to make such a repair yourself, consider the unique age and condition of your case, and whenever possible, enlist the aid of a professional when attempting typewriter repairs. Proceed at your own risk.
This is a case lid for a Remington Portable typewriter, a Portable 2 model. These brackets right here used to have a leather handle, but over time they break and fall apart, and there's a lot of clever solutions. One of the more common answers is for people to use old belts, old broken belts, and cut a new handle out and replace it there. I have a method that I believe is superior. What you would have ultimately is this. Is a much more professional looking handle than just a cut up leather belt. So if you're interested, I have a listing in the description for it so that you can get one of these to do it with. But as you can see, this part is not going to go in there. You can squeeze it and pinch it and do all kinds of stuff with it. It's not going to go in there. But basically, if you look inside, there are these little brackets. And in these brackets are these pins, these little flaps of metal. And in order to loosen those, all you have to do is pry up these little things, pry up these tabs, and push them in. And you can get the handle to fit. What you'll need for this job is a tack hammer. You want a light hammer because it's a delicate job, and these cases are like 100 years old, so you don't want to damage the wood. The smallest screwdriver you have, you want something that can get under those tabs. And you need a crescent wrench of some type to fold the tab down, and I find the smaller the better. The first step is to loosen these tabs. The tab that's furthest away from you when you look at it this way, on each of these, you want to fold it down. Those are the easiest ones to get to. You just unfold the bottom on each one, and you can get enough room to get that thing in there. But first things first, make sure you're on a sturdy table, and in order to get a good leverage, you want to put this case, prop it up like this, maybe put a book under here for when you're getting in there, so there's not much play for this thing to move around. You want it sturdy, really sturdy, so that the screwdriver only has one direction it can go. So I'm going to see if I can get this if I can film this while I'm doing it. But basically, you want to take your smallest screwdriver, your thinnest, smallest screwdriver, and just sort of flathead screwdriver, and just get in under this tab right here at the very back. Just fold it up. So sometimes it'll be easy, or that you can do it without having to hammer it, but doesn't look like it's going to be the case with this one. So I'm going to use my tack hammer. You want to be careful when you're tapping this, so that you don't let go of the screwdriver and punch it through the wood underneath. See if I can do this in a way where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I got the screwdriver underneath the tab, or at the very edge of it, and I'm going to tap it with this hammer and see if I can get it to come up. And I'm already getting some room under there. So yeah, it's coming up already. And then you just start forming it till you get enough room under there. And this is why I wanted the smallest crescent wrench possible, because you don't want to do this with needle nose pliers if you can help it. These needle nose pliers are not going to be the best thing, because they're gonna probably chew into that metal a little bit and leave it kind of malformed. The best way to do it that I found is with this, just your regular old crescent wrench. But yeah, you want to grab that tab. I may not have it down far enough yet. And you can get a bigger screwdriver in there. Here's one that's slightly thicker to get more leverage to bend it. And if you really want to, you can grab a really big screwdriver to do this. Okay, I think I got enough room now. So then you just slip it on there and make sure it's tight. And try to bend it down. First you'll start out that way. But what you're trying to do is get it flat. You want it as flat as possible, that little tab, so it pushes straight out. Okay, so this is going to be the last bend probably. I got a good grip on it now. So yeah, you just bend it until it's completely flat. And once you're flat, you don't have to worry so much about the top when it's going to fold and then fold back into place. So you do that. And then we'll do the other side. And I'll be right back with you. So the other side was fairly easy too. It's probably one of the easier ones I've had to do. But this is a fairly easy job. If it feels difficult, you're probably doing something wrong. When I first started doing this, I was using my needle nose pliers for a lot of things, and it's not a good idea to use needle nose pliers for any part of this gig except maybe this. So you stick the needle nose pliers through there and it just happens to fit pretty good. And you can just twist. You can do it with a flathead screwdriver too, but that'll pull that tab out of there. So yeah, you could probably also do it with this thing. With your crescent wrench, just sort of put it under there and sort of pry it up. So it takes some doing and some work, but if you can get that tab pulled all the way out, just slip this thing right in. See if I can do this with one hand. Yeah. Just enough room to slip it right by. And then it's just a matter of pushing that tab back in there. Once you get the bracket freed, you're going to want to push it back into that slot all the way through. And then I'll show you what to do from there. But I got one hand free at the moment. I'm going to have to turn this off and come back to it. But you're going to want to push it back into that slot as far as you can get. Okay, so once you get the tab pushed back into the slot, about 1/4 inch. But once you get it pushed in there all the way, or pushed in there until it's just about to this other metal plate on the inside, then you can take a little tack hammer, and with this this side on the table, you can just tap it in until the thing goes all the way through. But you want to make sure your leather handle isn't getting pinched in any kind of way. But by the time you get it this deep in, you should be okay. So once you get those tabs hammered back through, the next thing you want to do is just lean them over a little bit, and then hammer them back flat. So you just do that with this crescent wrench. Just make sure you get a good grip on it. Press and fold. There we go. Just fold it down. You just want it leaning enough where the hammer can get it. You just want it leaned over enough, far enough, where this hammer can tap it back down. I'm not going to be able to do this with just one hand while I hold the camera, so at least I think I can. Yeah, basically you're just you need enough of a lean on it so when you tap your hammer down on it, it'll just flatten instantly. And that's pretty much all it's going to take, just like 1 or 2 strikes on each side. That one's flat. And that one's flat. So you just took a couple of hits. Just took a few hits and these things are looking good again. So that's how you repair the case handle for a Remington Portable or a Remington Portable 2 typewriter case. I like this solution. These handles look nice. They're leather. They're durable. You know, they'll be very suitable for what you want. So if you're interested in buying one of these, I've got a listing in the description. I thank you for watching my video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and follow my stores on Etsy and eBay. Thank you.